Hello and welcome to the September 2018 TELedvisors webinar. Our subject today is Meet Your Advisors, who we are, what we do and how we got here. TELedvisors work in a wide range of roles to support technology-enhanced learning and teaching, but until quite recently there have been no qualifications or courses that lead people directly to this job. Sharing our stories and our diverse pathways into becoming an advisor is an important part of understanding and demonstrating the wide array of skills, knowledge and experience that we contribute to our workplaces. Today we have 6 advisors from institutions around Australia sharing their stories. Hyacinth Steele from QUT, Michael Sankey from Griffith University, Lindsay Rattray from Navitas, Marlene Daicopolous from Murdoch, Jenny James from Griffith University and Tom Worthington from the Australian National University. Our host today is Lindsay Rattray.
And I will share our questions for today, which are what's your current role and some detail there. What do you spend most of your work time doing? What did you do before you were an advisor and how did you get to this position? And then what qualities and skills do you think are important in your job or in our jobs in general? Next up is Marlene, Marlene Daicopoulos from Murdoch.
Yes, so my name is Marlene and I'm with Murdoch. And so yes, I'm hired. I guess my position is an e-portfolio learning support officer. And I've been hired by the discipline of nursing, for which we call the School of Health Professions, at Murdoch, which of course we're going through a restructure as well too. I'd like to be, I guess, known as an educator and or learning technologist, because I educate, and I'll tell you the story, my little journey as well too, because that's what I've always wanted to be. And that's just a picture of me and my son, who came home to visit a couple of years ago now. So I was looking for a photo, and that's the best I could do. And what's special about that photo is that he lives back in Canada now, and he surprised us, didn't tell us he was coming. But I think everybody else in Australia that we knew he was coming, aside from us. So yeah, it was a great surprise. So so what do I do here? So what do you spend most of your time doing? Well, I've become an expert in using Pebble in the e-portfolio learning in integration, and I'm just loving it. So nursing, and fortunately for me, they've hired me to implement e-portfolios and PebblePad into their curriculum, which we have. So I deal with staff and students from both sides. And that journey, the whole PebblePad journey, started back at James Cook University in Queensland. So I'm here at Murdoch for a contract while my husband is still in North Queensland. And yeah, so we are the first universities to use the app where we can make custom templates. So that was really exciting to launch that. And yeah, we just keep going and going with it. And I just love the fact, the attitude of this academic group who just want to keep going and innovate and make use of technology in their programs. So I've been really fortunate. And the students, since I've come on board, they say the students are much more relaxed about it. And I think that's because they've got support. They know they can come to me and you know, I'm having trouble with this technology-wise. I'm not a nurse, as you'll see, but I'm going to be, my joke is I will be an honorary nurse by the end of all this, because I know this curriculum inside and out. But I love it. I love delving into getting right into the meat of it, and you know, seeing how we can do this and develop an amazing program, which we have. So the next one is, so what was I before? So here's my little story. I'm a Canadian born, where I did my Bachelor of Arts and Languages and then a Bachelor of Education in Français. So I have those 2 degrees under my belt. But then when I finished my uni, they weren't hiring teachers. The government had put a freeze, and that's all be. So in case of what do I do now? And so I got into some admin and learned at that time too. So I'm trying to think, have a kid in the meantime and learn technology, learn more about computers because I'm sure this most of us here, we're always hearing about how computers were coming into our lives. Computers are coming into our lives. So, yeah, I hopped on board and learned more about what to do with programs. And so, I actually got into. I made a database. I got into database management, which went along with the marketing. So I did another further education, further studies in marketing at Sheridan College, and I worked for the pet food industry. So that was fascinating and interesting. And I guess what I love about marketing is that it is teaching people or instructing people or helping people, whichever way you want to look at it. I always found a education side of it, and I'm happy I did it. And I even find my brain going a little bit on that marketing side when it comes to implementing education. Then we came over to Australia, 2004, and I worked for a couple of councils because, of course, I didn't come over with my education. I hadn't been teaching in the past, in the recent past, so therefore I couldn't. I would have had to do all sorts of stuff. And 20 seconds, I got 2 minutes here, and. And anyway, so I did that. Then I got doing again admin stuff at James Cook, and they recognized my talent. I had a colleague come to me and say, "Could you want to help with the online delivery?" And literally, I walked back in, and I was home again, back in education. So we put up the whole Bachelor of Business at James Cook University, cooperating with getting that online with Blackboard, and then I got into the Pebble Pad. So now I'm at Murdoch. I'm finishing my fellowship of higher education from the Higher Education Academy. And then finally, the last one, what do you think are qualities? Communication and support. Why does PowerPoint do that? Communication and support. So communication, you make a commitment and you keep people in loop, and you're accountable for what you have to do, and you're proactive. And then support. That's my biggest thing. I love helping people. I love teaching people, and it makes a difference. And I could only wish that executives would see the meaning in our jobs and how we support people and what it is. So that's, again, I guess that time went really quickly, but if there's any questions, I'll let it go there.
Yeah, were there any questions or one from the chat?
Yeah, diverse backgrounds seem to play. It really helps.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'd be interested to know a bit more about ATA and also just your take on e-portfolios, both, I guess, as an edtech tool, but also as a personal reflective tool, given that ATA and things like CMALT are quite, involve a lot of reflective practice, and how that might help you in your role.
Well, I discovered, I guess you could say, that I'm naturally reflective. When I teach a lesson, teach anything to anyone, I walk away going, right, did that go well or did not? And so trying to teach students to be reflective is really interesting, but I try and bring it home to them. So yeah, no, I have recently just I've already done 18 months on my Murdoch contract and did a reflection portfolio on it, and it was fascinating and it was really good. Just as we preach to the students, you pull this together and you'll see the stuff you can do and the confidence that comes up with it. It really does help. And as we've said before, I've seen people in the chat saying, when you're a student as well, on the other side, it's so nice to know that what you're saying has value, and you can tell them it's tried and true. So yeah, Kate, we'll talk, I'm sure, some more at the portfolio or whomever at the forum in a couple of weeks.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Marlene.